6%, and Sonia will read out some other names.
Oh yes, and if you're surprised by that as well, take a look at the global markets. There's a powerful rally going on there. As we were telling you earlier, with the Fed rate hike, now one thing is for sure, that the US economy is improving, and that's a validation of that. And seeing the mother market improve is of course positive for all global markets, and that's something that you're seeing across the board today. By the way, talking about the mid-cap space, yes, it was a great day of trade, 2% higher for the mid-cap index. Market breadth at 4:1 in favor of the advances. A lot of stocks hitting fresh highs today, so let me take you through that list first. Jet Airways, Bajaj Finance, Vakrangi Software, Kajaria Ceramics. These are all stocks that have given you great returns this year and continue to hit fresh 52-week highs. Apart from that, you had really good rallies in names like Quality, that went up almost about 12%. IDBI Bank was up about 7%. Amtech Auto was up 6.5%. You had HDIL that was up about 4.5%. BEML as well gave you great returns today. So that's another stock that did exceptionally well. On the downside, Praj Industries came in for some profit taking. Castex Technology was down about 5.5%. But it's a struggle to find losers in today's market because it's been all about the winners. You've also had a lot of these pharmaceutical stocks that did well. Marksans Pharma was one of them. That's now up 63% for the year, Marksans Pharma, and is 6% higher for the day. And a couple of other stocks as well from the pharmaceutical space did okay. All in all, good day of trade for the market. 300 points up move on the Sensex, and now we're back above 25,700. Okay, almost 25,800 today. That's not bad at all. But let's continue our chat with our guests. Kunal, what's the sense you're getting? Should one continue to hold on to their long positions tomorrow, or now do you think the time has come to take your profits?
No, I think there is probably a couple of days, where you can hold on to your long positions. I think a couple of stocks also of the mid-cap spaces, which you pointed out, have given a, very strong breakout. In fact, I think if you look at it, over the last, 4 or 5 days, even when the markets were correcting, the volatility was extreme. I think there were a lot of large-cap names which managed to hold on, to the ground. And, when the markets tried and, give you a short covering bounce or a rally as such, I think these names are trying to come back again. So I think I take that as a very strong positive sign, in terms of momentum. But looking at the very short-term indicators, probably the hourly charts, there seems to be a chance that you may see probably a, an overbought territory happening over the next couple of days. So I think the rally could probably last for a couple of days. As I mentioned at the start of the show, 7920, 7940 is where I'm looking at the first set of major resistance on Nifty. I think the moment we reach that would be an ideal level to take out profits from a short term.
Okay, Mr. Tulsen, you have been giving our viewers some gems of late. Century Textiles was, of course, the latest one, and we've seen a big rally in Century Textiles. Anything else that that catches your mind, or where you've seen any kind of trading opportunity which is easily available?
See, Anuj, I think for those trading opportunities I'm already giving, and the viewers must keep watching CNBC, because the kind of ideas and my colleagues, market wallas and all that we have, believe me, in fact, I'm not trying to flatter the channel. In fact, we have all been doing good work and we have been giving mid-cap ideas. But I think this is the time, as I said again, continuing my view of 11th December, that now you can focus on the frontline stocks also. And in fact, I expressed my views earlier also yesterday. In fact, I gave a call on Glenmark Pharma as a BTST. Maybe one can look for Amara Raja, maybe one can look for Bharat Forge, because these are the stocks again which will all be bouncing back. Because if you see these all investors, or maybe the funds were on the sideline, they had no courage, or maybe the advance tax is paid by the HNIs and the big companies, not by the small people. So they have all been plunging into the mid cap and small cap. But now I think with whole hog, they will all come back and they will all be going into the frontline stocks. So there are many ideas. Maybe like in the pharma, Lupin looks quite good, Vocard looks quite good. They are the stocks. So these are the stocks where one has to take a call on, in the front line as an investor plus as a trader. And as a general, let me just give my disclosure that these same ideas has been given to my clients, and we have extensively discussed on Vakrangi and Pipavav Defense, where I have no personal interest, but the similar advice has been given to my clients and all. Yeah.
Okay, Dipan, what about you? Do you advise investors to now go ahead and buy into some of those beaten down good quality names from the index, that the likes of ICICI Bank, a whole host of others like Tata Motors, etc. Is this a good time to nibble in?
No. I think still let's remain with the mid-cap stocks where there is growth, where there is visibility, and where there is decent corporate governance standards. I think the growth will come more in mid-caps, the appreciation will come over there more than the large caps. I think large caps are still remaining in a bit of a narrow range, and there are sector-specific issues like telecom has got Reliance Jio launch, the banks have got their own issues, especially the PSU banks, and then there is FMCG, that is ITC and HUL, which are in slow growth lane. So I think in the large cap, there are hardly any companies which are showing decent growth rate. By decent, I mean 15-20% type of top line, bottom line. And with the exception of say Maruti or HDFC Bank, within the index, there are hardly any company, maybe Tata Motors, which are giving decent growth rates. So investors will flock to mid-cap counters where there is good visibility, and where despite all the various challenges in the economy, they're still able to generate growth in the region of 15 to 25% or thereabouts.
All right. In fact, you just did mention Maruti. So before we end the discussion, just wanted your view on that stock, because in about 1.5 hours from now, we'll come to know whether the the minority shareholders have approved the Gujarat plant ballot. If the approval comes through, then how much of a positive do you think it will be for Maruti? Or do you think that it doesn't matter because Maruti has in any case been on an uptrend?
See, I think by and large, the fact that the Gujarat plant will take place in the holding company has broadly got discounted. But my sense is that if the resolution gets voted out and doesn't get, and in fact the Gujarat plant stays in the Maruti Suzuki itself, then that's very positive for minority shareholders. Having said that, I think consumer-focused businesses are doing extremely well. Brands are playing out extremely well, and Maruti falls bang in the middle of that particular investment theme. And although a lot of challenges are there in the auto industry with all what's going on in New Delhi, I think Maruti remains on a very strong wicket, and the volumes are looking up. More importantly, I think they're moving up the value chain and taking full advantage of lower commodity prices. So despite valuations being slightly on the higher side as compared to historical averages, we remain extremely bullish on Maruti, and that may be irrespective of whether the Gujarat plant takes place in the holding company or the subsidiary company. Subsidiary company, of course, much better, but even holding company benefits are there for Maruti Suzuki per se. Having said that, it's a company in which we and our investors have a decent position in, and to that extent our views could be biased.
All right, who doesn't, right? All right, Dipan, thanks for joining us. Mr. Tulsian, thanks for joining us as well. And Kunal, you have a good day. Thanks for your trading ideas.